Hi, Barry Vesti, Auraled Lighting, www.auraledlighting.com. I want to run back on a product today that I developed 11 years ago. At the time, we just invested in the Shenzhen factory, and I was actually in an office. We had an office in Ningbo before we moved to this factory here. And I was sat there one day and I was really contemplating in my mind the onset of LED tubes. Now, the reason it had come up in my mind was because a lot of them are made half aluminium and half plastic at the time, and I'd seen companies putting the driver down one end, an open frame driver, and I was really getting concerned about this because you're putting live and neutral through a tombstone. Now, that's okay in most nations, but in some you've got unshunted and shunted lamp holders like in the United States, and also there's a risk where the cables can actually get stripped and actually make this actual tube live. That really started to worry me. So I was sat in the office one day and I started to draw a new product, which what I envisaged was when you took the lamp holder out, you've got all that carcass of the fitting. I want something that will directly stick to the carcass of the fitting and have a great heat transfer. So what I actually did first was draw up an aluminium, and what I wanted to do with the aluminium was make a shape for the magnets to run in there so the magnets would run flush. The reason I wanted them flush is so that heat transfer was direct to the whole carcass. That will lower the heat of the tube and it will create a better L70 figure, which means that the deterioration of the LEDs will be much slower. So what I came up with was our first MagT8, which was our magnet tube, which is slightly shorter than the actual thing, which means you can take the fluorescent tubes out, stick, link up, click. We've done all the drivers for them, we've done all the connectors for them. These have evolved. Now, I've seen some rudimentary copies now of late where what they've done is they've stood the magnet off and the magnet's stood off at either ends. Now, what that means is all of this area, you haven't got direct heat transfer. What is the point of doing a rudimentary copy when you're negating the fact why it was designed like this in the first place? Now, to show that it was designed, 2011 I designed it. By 2013, my patent was granted in the whole of China. That's the patent on that one. That was registered 2013. It takes a little bit of time to go through, and that's evolved to some other products that we've actually made. This one is actually for a meat light counter. What happens in some supermarkets, they put meat in the counters, and the next week they might want to do a promotion on fish, so they want to clean it out, put this in. But the problem is this will have obviously a high R9 value for the meat light, and when they put fish in, the fish looks awful. So we made a switched version. This is actually going on a project. Again, this has been sampled and approved for a very large project or chain, and I'll show you how strong these are because that was something to consider. This is on a metal frame. That doesn't pull off easy. It's very difficult to pull off. Even in a earthquake, that wouldn't just fall down. It's got self-tap provision, but it's very, very strong. And the reason it's very strong is because at the time when I first developed it, I went with the highest strength magnets and actually integrated them into there. I actually got the strongest magnets I could get on this to stick to it. So the first product is the original one, and what's happened is with some rudimentary copies, they just made them cheaper. If you want the original product that is sold large quantities and we can support you on that and manufacturing with your own end caps, etc., we have business going on, but I want to come back to you about this product because I'm seeing videos on alternatives that are not the original. And just so that you have the idea why we made like this. We've had, for example, in America, we worked with one client and we supported them for many years. They've sold 1 million sets of these and had under 1% failures. I know that for a fact. And that's in 5-6 years. That's longevity. That's history of this product. So now with the evolution of PCBs and what we're doing on the SMT, we can actually improve that, give you the high lumens and a product that will last for a long time. Anyway, that's my video of the day. Barry from Auraled Lighting.